What's up, man? Welcome back to Peaceful Seduction. My name is Franco, and we are officially in video number 3 of this YouTube channel. Okay, and so today we are going to be going over what I have found to be one of the biggest secrets that women keep to themselves and would never ever tell you as a man. Because if they knew that you knew this, they would probably hate me. All right, they don't want you to know this, but let's just get into it. And so the secret that we're going to be talking about here today is the fact that whether you want to call them hot women, beautiful women, just attractive women in general, women who are in demand, women who are 10s, they are secretly very, very lonely, okay? They will never ever tell you this, they will never admit to this in publicly, but they are very, very lonely and they're just dying to have a man in their life, okay? And so those women that you are seeing that you're like, damn, if I could just have that one where she's so amazing, she's so hot, like if I can only just have her, and you feel like she's out of reach, if only you knew how lonely she really is, you would understand that it would be a lot easier to attract her. And so when I say that, when we're talking about one of women's biggest secrets that they are lonely, this is not to make fun of women, this is not to disempower women, make it seem like they are weak. That's not what we do here at Peaceful Seduction. Remember, everything we do here is all about love and just being genuine, right? And so the reason why I'm sharing this with you is so that just so you understand that you have more chances with that one amazing woman that you see. You have more chances with her than you actually think, okay? And so she's not as out of reach as you may think she is, okay? And so let's get into the 4 reasons why women are secretly lonely, okay? Reason number 1 is that women's looks are very, very intimidating, as we may know, okay? And so let's say you go to a house party and there's just this gorgeous ass woman there, right? Like she's just she's done up from head to toe, right? She's wearing a skin tight dress, she has an amazing body, she's going to the gym, she's showing those nice legs, she's wearing some high heels, she has her hair done up all well, just everything about this woman is just spot on, just dead sexy, right? What's important to understand is that chances are, like, every other guy in that room is having the same thoughts as you are, which is she probably will say no to me. Like, that girl is just too damn hot. She's probably out of my league. And so what happens is that most men reject themselves rather than having the woman reject them. Like, rejection is a part of life, and I'm going to talk about this in a future video. Like, rejection is not something to take personal. It happens to everybody. Everybody gets rejected. It doesn't matter how good you get with women. If you're just like this world-class seducer, you know everything there is to know about women. Sooner or later, you're just gonna get rejected. Like, no man is attracted to every woman, and so, but if we are gonna get rejected, it's much better to let the woman reject us than for us to just reject ourselves. And so, when us men, we see a beautiful woman who's just done up so, like, to the max, like, a lot of men are just gonna reject themselves. They're like, yeah, she's probably too much for me. And so for that reason, women do not get approached. Men are very ballsy when it comes to social media, when it comes to DMs. There is where women get like a flux of like just a bunch of DMs from random dudes, but not in person. In person is where women see the true character of men, which is this guy. All these men just don't have the balls to come and talk to me. They all stare at me. They're definitely thinking about getting with me, but they don't do it. And so what happens is that women stay very single because of this reason, because just men don't approach them. And of course, women are not gonna get turned on by a guy messaging them a DM. Like, that's not ballsy at all. Okay, and so that's the reason number 1 is that women's looks are very intimidating, and because of that, men just don't approach, and so women stay single for a very long time. Okay, reason number 2, which is very similar, which is that men assume that she already has a boyfriend because of the fact that she is good looking. So men see a girl, again, she's dressed up head to toe, skin tight dress, showing her legs, she's got her high heels on, her hair done to the max. They just assume, damn, well, obviously she's an attractive woman. There has to be some guy who has already approached her. And so, again, if every other guy in the room at this house party is thinking that, then like no one's gonna go up and talk to her, right? So as you can tell, you can see the pattern here is that men disqualify themselves. That's just the reality when it comes to beautiful, attractive women. And so the same thing, just women go out, they're dressed up to the max, they spend 2-3 hours to get to look their best, and all that happens is that a bunch of men just stare at them and no men approach them, and then they just stay single. Like, this is just the reality. And so men just assume, okay, she has a boyfriend, so I may as well not even talk to her. Okay, that's like just one of the biggest lessons you can take away from this video is don't reject yourself, don't disqualify yourself. Okay, go and talk to the woman that you like, knowing that no other men are approaching her, so you have no competition. That's one of the biggest things. Like, you literally have no competition when it comes to beautiful women. When it comes to women who are, let's say, more average, they're not really a 10, they're not really all that. With those women, a lot of men are just ballsy, and then they'll just talk to her like, oh, okay, like, you know, she's easy, I'm sure I can attract her, right? And so those are the women that are having men approach them. But when it comes to the 10s, and we're not just talking about looks, we're also talking about personality. She's feminine, she seems like a sweetheart, she has a heart, she's got things going on for her. We're talking about those women, okay? And so when it comes to the 10s, they're just, men are just disqualifying themselves, okay? And so hopefully you understand that. Now, number 3, and this is one of the more important ones, is that like, attractive women get no genuine interest from men, okay? Especially if she's really, really good looking. So what do I mean by this? It's gotta really suck to be a good looking woman, because all that happens is that men see them for their shell, their appearance, and then they just basically see them as sex objects. They just look at her and they're like, oh, I just want to sleep with her. And so the way women attract men, huge part of that is through their looks, again, along with feminine energy, having a good heart, so on and so on. And so I want to give you the male equivalent to that. So a huge part of what makes a man attractive is being successful. It doesn't necessarily mean financially successful, but successful in some area in his life. Successful as far as being high self-esteem, having a nice body, having a relationship with family. There's a lot of things that can make a man successful. But let's take the example of a man who's financially successful, a man who's rich, just because money does not attract women, but it's just easy to understand in this example. And so imagine you are a millionaire, right? You know for a fact that if you have $1 million, women are going to throw themselves at you. But the thing is, and you will have people in your life, you will have guys who want to be your friends, you will have women who want to sleep with you. But if you had $1 million, would you actually trust people? Like, do you really think that everybody in your life actually cares about you? Like, they actually want to meet you because they think you're a cool person? Chances are that's not the reason why. You know for a fact that everyone who's talking to you, whether it's a guy who wants to be your friend or a girl who she's messaging you, she's DMing you, you know for a fact that they want something out of you. They have selfish interests, right? And so what happens is that you have a lot of people in your life, but no one actually cares about you, okay? And so people are going to be with you in the good times when everything's a-okay, but when shit goes south and just, you find yourself in a bad situation, when you need support, when you need genuine people, no one is going to be around to help you out. And this is a very similar situation that a lot of attractive, especially good-looking women find themselves in. You see that she has a lot of people talking to her, and a lot of people just, that she's getting a bunch of DMs from guys. But I bet you none of those guys actually give a fuck about her. Like, they just don't. They just want to sleep with her. And so what happens is that beautiful women, they actually feel very, very invisible. Okay? They know that men check them out. They know that men are checking out their Instagram pictures, but they don't feel like they're being seen. And so with women, it's very important. Emotional connection is very important to them. She's not going to get into a relationship if she does not feel like she has a genuine, deep emotional connection with the guy. If all she feels like this guy just wants to get into her pants, that's not enough. Why would she get with this guy knowing that the other guy's the same way? He's just a horny dude. These two guys are not different from each other. She wants a guy who's different, a guy who can see beyond just her looks. Women want a guy to see them as beautiful and as attractive, but they also want a guy who actually cares about her, okay? And so, important thing to know is that, dude, by the time a woman is 21 years old or 25 years old, she's been through some rough experiences, okay? Maybe her mom and dad got sick. Maybe she got into a car accident. She's, for whatever reason, ended up in the hospital. Women go through, just like us men, they go through rough times. And what women realize in these rough experiences is that, like, damn, like all these guys who ask me out, they only want me when things are good, but like, where the hell are they? Right? Like, I'm in the hospital and like none of them are here to actually care about me. Like, no one actually cares about me. These guys are just a bunch of fakes, right? Same thing is like, if a guy who's rich, he's a millionaire, is like, they have all these people, like, where were they before? Where were they when he was broke, right? Why is it that when he was broke, nobody like believed in him? No girl wanted to date him. No girl wanted to sleep with him. No one wanted to be his friend. Why is it that when he was broke, no one was around, but now he's a millionaire and now everybody wants to be his friend? Now every girl wants to sleep with him, right? Like, it's in the hard times when you see who's who, like who actually cares about you. And so, because of that, women become very skeptical. They're like, damn, all these guys, they just want me for sex, right? And so a lot of men forget that women have families, dude. Like a mom and dad who actually care about her. A mom and dad actually worry about her, that they want a man who's a sincere and a good-hearted dude to one day attract their daughter, right? Like to be with the daughter and to provide and protect, do all the things that a man should do. And so, all the only kind of interest women get from men is just sexual interest. Okay, now of course there's times in a woman's life where all she wants is sex. Okay, in which case that it's very important to be a good-looking guy, hitting the gym, dressing well, having charisma, being fun, and all that good stuff. But when it comes to long-term relationships, it's gonna take a lot more than that. It's gonna take a guy who actually can see her for more than just her looks. Okay, and so this is another reason too why women are secretly lonely. Yes, they have a lot of guys following them, messaging them, and all that. That means nothing, okay? They're not genuinely approaching the woman, okay? So they stay single, and women are gonna stay single until they meet that sincere guy. And I know that sincere guy is gonna be you, okay? Now, moving on to number 4 is there's just very few men who are on her level. That's just the truth, okay? And so if this woman is a 10, obviously she's putting in a lot of work. She's going to the gym 5 days a week. She's spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on her looks, whether it's her dresses, skirts, her high heels, her makeup, her skincare, her hair treatments, whatever it is that women do. Women are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on their looks, and yet all you see is a bunch of dudes wearing shorts and flip-flops, or just raggedy old shoes, just like no effort into their style. And that's just one area of life, which is style. Like there's other areas. If she's spending thousands of dollars on her looks, clearly she has some type of business, some type of high-paying job, and so she's working 40 hours a week, maybe 60 hours a week, maybe 80 hours a week. And so she's making a good money. Like a lot of women nowadays are making more money than men because they understand that they need to make a lot of money in order to pay for all these expensive things in order for them to look good and all that and be attractive. Okay. And so women are just outworking men. Most men nowadays, they're just putting in more effort, and men nowadays are becoming very, very lazy. Okay. And so that, and in today's society, is just, there's a lot of temptation, but a lot of just like instant gratification is the word I was looking for. Like it's so easy just to work very little and just be like, okay, I'm gonna watch TV, I'm gonna watch Netflix and this and that. And so it's easy for men to become lazy nowadays as opposed to going to the gym. Men back in the days pride themselves on going to the gym. Back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, men were just all over the gym. That was just how it is. Nowadays, it's like, it's not like that. Men would just much rather stay home and watch Netflix and chill and just do nothing, smoke weed and go to sleep. Okay, and so there are very few men out there who are growth-minded, who are gonna take the long, hard path in life, which is they're gonna go to the gym, they're gonna sweat their ass off, they're gonna get sore, and they're gonna go back to the gym and continue working harder. And even when they come home, they're tired, they're still gonna work on their business, work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, whatever it is they gotta do, and then work on their self-esteem, and then just everything, right? And so there's very few men out there who are actually on her level. So women are wanting a man who's on her level or higher than her level, okay? Okay, so if you are that guy who you commit to working on yourself, working 5 days a week, going to the gym and all that, working on your self-esteem, overcoming your insecurities, going out there and building a social circle, building a social life, doing what you gotta do, then understand you have very, very little competition. Like men are getting lazier than ever. Men are just making more excuses. Men don't want to work as hard. And so you have very, very little competition. Okay. And so for these reasons, this is why I believe that women are secretly lonely. And so what's important to understand is that when you are going out there to these house parties, to wherever it is you're meeting women, Don't expect women to show it to make it obvious that they're lonely, that they're very very single, and that dude, a lot of these women, they actually cry when they're alone. Like when they're in bed at night. Like I've heard women say that when they're in bed at night, they cry. They literally cry to themselves, wishing like, where is that one man? And they're praying to God, please God, bring that amazing man into my life. Like women cry when they're alone. They're not gonna tell you this, but they do. Okay. But of course, when they're out there, they're trying to act like they're tough, like they're badass. Why? Because society is telling women that they need to be strong and independent. Don't trust on the man. Don't, or not trust, but don't depend on the man. Don't rely on the man to be happy. You need to be a self-made woman who's happy all on her own, right? And so they're gonna follow that message, and they're not gonna showcase their vulnerability. Okay, so women, they just have, I don't know if it's their sensitive egos or if it's just that messaging, but they're not gonna express to you they're not gonna show you that vulnerability, that loneliness. Okay, and they also don't do this because they know that if you knew this, you'd probably take advantage of them, and you'd probably just get with her for a moment and get with another girl, and so on and so on. So it's important to have integrity with this. This is not something that you want to make fun of women. This is not something you want to take advantage of. Do not take advantage of women's loneliness. Okay, just understand that you have a lot more chances with that woman, and she's a lot more available to you than you may think she is. Okay, so when dealing with women, understand that it's all a facade. It's, for the most part, it's all an act. She's not as tough and all that invincible as you may think she is. That's what she wants you to think, but that's not the reality. You need to see beyond that act, and you need to see that she is a lonely woman, and I am a man who can be of value to her. If you understand that, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to attract your dream girl. Okay. All right, so hopefully you found that video to be helpful. As always, comment down below your thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll get back to you. As always, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Hopefully you found that video to be helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. You take care and stay awesome. Deuces.